All right. Hello, Speed Gaming 5. Welcome to week 3. I believe it's week 3. Yeah, week 3 of the multi-category randomizer tournament for Super Metroid. I am Rumblemans, and I'm joined here with Sire. Sire, how are you doing?
Yeah, doing great. Just having a lazy Sunday with some Super Metroid Randomizer action.
Yeah, you
How you
can't.
doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing well. You can't really ask for anything more. We've got a 1-1 matchup, which is in this week 3 match between Slow Guy and Swunsh. Swunsh. That is harder to say than I expected it to be. I'm going to be honest. I didn't practice saying the runner's name. And Swunsh, Swunsh.
Yeah, I haven't said it yet either, so now I'm a little afraid.
the
Swoosh.
right
I was
the
gonna say
right runner.
swunch. Yeah, that is
Swunsh.
hard.
I definitely should have asked before I started this how to pronounce Swunsh. So we are doing a Chozo Boss Vanilla Area Randomizer. And just in case you're not aware of what those settings are, we'll cover them now, and then inevitably chat will correct me in all the things that I get wrong. So let's start with Chozo. In the different ways that you can randomize the items in Super Metroid, Chozo places the major items, including I believe 3 E-tanks and 2 missiles, 2 supers, and a power bomb, on the various Chozo statues and some boss items like behind Kraid, behind Ridley. And with that, we are off. What the implications of this are pretty important. It changes things like, for instance, Crockmeyer only has 1 item instead of 2. Um, you know, what are some other ones? Wreck ship. The gravity item I think is actually not a major item, but the missiles behind it are. And I believe the right side super is still the quote unquote boss item.
Isn't that a Chozo statue up in the robot room too, which is just like a slap in the face?
Oh man, is it? No, no, no.
No?
Robot Room's not a Chozo statue. That's just a
Wait,
missile sitting on the floor.
What's the one?
There's,
Oh, you were talking about the gravity one. No, I'm sorry. I
yeah.
was thinking of the wrong room. Already screwing up. But yeah,
No
the
worries.
Chozo's really interesting because, the reason they have all those items selected is it's basically, your any percent what you can do to finish the game.
Hmm.
So, if you hit all the Chozo statues, you should be able to finish the game. Um, so it makes it a little more interesting in that sense where you're not necessarily in full rando hunting for supers or power bombs forever.
Hmm.
Even though we've definitely seen seeds where we're still hunting.
Yep, and we've got bombs as our first item on the Chozo statue. That's an interesting get. One of the kind of subtle implications of that, the way Chozo does randomization, is that you can fairly easily deduce that some checks won't be worth it, right? So if you haven't seen any supers on Chozo statues, like that greatly narrows down where, like, what can be on the Chozo statues that you're coming up on, right? Because
Yeah,
like you can start to eliminate some other checks. The
and
other Oh, sorry, go ahead.
oh, yeah, I was just gonna say, kind of along that line. Um, a lot of times there's a decision for charge beam and ammo, but in these Chozos, you can sort of deduce where charge beam is going to be a lot of times if you don't have it towards the end of the game and decide a little more informed. If it's at shack tool, maybe you just check some more miners. If you're going to run into it on the way back to Torian, you just go with your 30 supers or whatever. So
Hmm.
um charge is not always missing like it sometimes feels like.
Yeah, and we do have Slow Guy checking underneath Old Mother Brain here, looking for their first miners. Some missiles would be nice so that they can open up Bomb
Oh,
Torizo, but nope, just getting more health.
wow.
This is the second part of our randomization settings is boss, which means the bosses are swapped around. There are at least 2 bosses that have been moved, up to all 4, and that has some interesting repercussions as well. I think most notably on Wrecked Ship, in that you can go to Wrecked Ship and fight Kraid, and it turns out there's not really anything else that you can do there. You can't. None of the doors open. You can't go get any items. Everything's just stuck shut, which is. Sometimes makes Wreck Ship a much less attractive play in the early rounds compared to other places. And
Yeah,
I think this
very true.
230 missiles here has to be ammo, right? Like there's nowhere else that they can go with just bombs.
Gauntlet, right? Oh yeah,
I,
there you go. Okay.
oh yeah, I guess Gauntlet is open with bombs. Man, that would have
Yeah.
been a fun 3 tank Gauntlet with just bombs and no missiles.
Yeah, I don't know if it's logical because the tanks were like one was in the ceiling and one was under Mother Brain, but it would have been doable.
Yeah. Yeah,
um,
I don't think the logic counts the e-tanks that they find outside of the Chozo statues or major items. So
yeah,
I think it probably wouldn't have been in logic with just bombs, but
yeah.
they could have done it.
And we are going to see a BT fight. Luckily, grabbing a pack of supers in BT, so it'll be a bit quicker than your standard BT fight. Probably just 2 missiles and a soup. And kind of, again, along the lines of what you were saying a minute ago, I actually found it interesting that we're seeing, just 2 supers for Slow Guy.
Yeah, no
Um,
missiles because they used them to open the door, unfortunately.
oh, duh, they only have the 5. That low missile count in the beginning, that can throw you. Um, but yeah, some of the interesting, roots and seeds that I've seen this week have actually been in relation to Boss Rando kind of bailing out runners who didn't find ice or speed and took the back way into Meridia.
Mm-hmm.
Once Dragon is down, you can go through like by plasma and get into where Dragon would be without needing ice or speed or fighting Batoon. So
Mm-hmm.
that's been an interesting wrinkle as well, I think, this week.
Yeah, and it can be actually required by the logic that
Yeah,
you go kill Dragon somewhere else and go backdoor through plasma and that gray door that's normally closed until you kill that boss. The last interesting thing I'll say about Boss Rando is that it can make RBO style hell runs to Lower Norfair more attractive. If you know that Ridley is not in Lower Norfair, then it's a lot comfier to get down through that without Varia and fight Crate or something there and allow you to get in and out without worrying about having to fight Ridley without heat protection.
that is true. I don't know if I'll be going down there anytime soon, but we
It
have definitely seen a few this week, so that's definitely been cool.
it's still not easy. It's definitely
Yeah,
not free, but it is much easier than having to fight Ridley as well. So, and we got another Chozo E tank. Or
huh,
I guess I shouldn't say another Chozo E tank, a Chozo E tank. So far we've only had we've had a missile, a super, and bombs and an E tank. So
yeah,
still kind of looking for that first movement useful item, and they're also gonna want some power bombs. There is a Chozo statue by the Edicoons. No, there's not. There's nothing down there. Why would you
yeah.
do that?
No Eticoons, or usually no Eticoons in these races, as there's no statue down there.
Yeah.
But they will get early supers room, so hopefully they'll get paid out with either the minors or the major in there.
Yes.
There's what, four minors in that room, and then the major.
Yeah,
So
that is true.
yeah.
And then there is. They actually do have access to the missiles behind Spore Spawn. The supers behind Spore Spawn is a Chozo statue,
Oh yeah, because of the
and they
bombs.
and they've got everything they need for that because of the bombs.
That's an interesting missile skip there by Slow Guy. You're standing right there. I don't know if I'd want to keep going with just 5.
Yeah, if nothing else, like Fantoon with only 5 missiles is probably the most annoying thing you can ever do.
Yeah.
And Swoosh needs to be careful. Okay, he got in. All right, that lava will drain your health incredibly fast there, and if you get stuck.
Yeah. So both runners kind of doing the same thing at the moment. No, really opportunity to have a divergent paths yet, but
Yeah,
now we'll go down to Brinstar here and see if that opens anything up for us.
yeah, they can't really go They can't go to wreck ship. They don't have power bombs.
Yep.
You know, there's not really anywhere else for them to go but Green Grip Brinstar. So we'll see what this reserve tank location holds.
And another E-tank. Wow. Okay.
Not the worst thing in the world to see, but you would like to see. Oh, screw attack. That's a
Huh.
nice pickup. That makes things comfy.
I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like I see a lot of early super in Chozo. I personally love it. I need screw attack. All more screw attack the better. But it just seems to always just be sitting right there in Chozo.
It definitely provides you, like, it checks some boxes, right? So
Yeah,
now whatever you need for lower Norfair, like some people need more or less than others, but Screw Attack just checks a bunch of boxes there. It's like Three Musketeers room, no problem. The Pirates, no problem. Worst room in the game, kill those pirates without an issue. Like
yeah,
farm supers, no problem. Like you get so much benefit out of it, and this early, it'll be nice to have it for sure.
yeah. I feel. I mean, I don't know if it's been officially timed or whatever, but I feel like screw attack saves a ton of time in these randos when it's this early. Just overall, not no extra shots, no switching to missiles and then having a farm. Like just, they just blaze with it. So I certainly, like to see a screw attack early. And these Chozos seem to provide.
It's saving some time right here on the way to Big Pink, not having to
Yeah,
bomb those blocks, just go right through.
exactly. Yeah, I mean if you're not gonna get speed early, screw attack might be.
Oh,
Oh, there we go. There's some power
there's
bombs.
there's our power bombs. So that's a relief. In some ways, the wave gate here is not a Chozo statue, so they didn't need them to get all of the items here. There's the charge beam item and then the Spore Spawn Supers item that are the two Chozo items in this area. But it's still really nice to check that power bombs box and not have to worry about where did the Varia randomizer hide my power bombs. It looks like Swoosh is instead going back up.
Where?
I'm not
Oh,
sure
no, screw attack
why.
doesn't open.
Yeah, it doesn't
Hmm.
open anything up.
Now this is starting to get a little worrying. We've seen a couple of E-tanks, a lot of available E-tanks, and then the reserve on the Chozo statue. That could, indicate that the seed might be heading for some hell runs, with all the early health. But I don't think we've seen enough Chozo E-tanks yet, but we're about to see another pickup
Oh,
here.
he forgot to check Terminator, and maybe that he was running back here to check if this was his power bombs. Yep, I think that's
Oh,
exactly what happened.
there we go.
You know what? I can oh, plasma beam. That's nice. I can 100% understand that check having forgotten that location, because if those were the first power bombs and he ends up having to come back for them, that would be disastrous. So he's kind of going to eat that time now and get those items there, and so that makes some sense.
Yeah, and with the Chozo, there's not really. I mean, you'd like not to ever have to go that way again. So, it's not like he'd be coming back here later in the game, anyways. It's just kind of a dead zone where he'd have to
Mhm.
just go out of his way later, anyways. So, yeah, good on him for remembering it. Soon enough to for this to still be pretty close here.
Mhm.
Runners still in a few checks of each other.
And we do see Slow Guy heading up here. The Alpha Power Bombs is a Chozo up there, so you will almost always want to go up and check that before heading down to Lower Norfair.
Yeah.
I would expect him to pick up that item and then head down and not cross moat. Right now, Wreck Ship it's too likely that all of the items are locked behind a boss that is somewhere else, and so it would be the only reason to do it really is to get information about which boss is there, and I don't think that's worth the
Ooh, there's
investment
another
going there.
Chozo E-Tank. I think we're in Hell Run logic, if I've been paying attention enough. Um, Maybe I haven't, but yeah. Do you like that knowledge check in Chozo? I've seen a few people do it. I
Not, uh, not, uh, not all the way to Wreck Ship to the boss, and then back. Like, you know,
Yeah.
it's like that's a lot of time. And even if it's Fantoon, you know, you're still banking on something really good being there to make that play worthwhile. Additionally, he would have to CWJ or HBJ to get over Moat, and I have no doubt that Slow Guy is capable of doing so. But you have so much health, and there's so many more items in other places. Like, I
Yeah.
would I would just head down and check those first.
Yeah, I think I don't think that knowledge is worth it, Chozo. Maybe a different mode. We've seen some knowledge checks be more valuable, but
If
since you
if we
can
were
easily deduce at the end,
yeah,
it's rare that a wreck ship seed is necessary.
if we were in full area rando, or
Yeah.
even yeah, actually probably not. Oh, Swunch is actually gonna skip the alpha PBs check, which is gonna be good. It's just an E tank, and that's gonna actually catch him back up quite a bit.
Yeah.
But if this was full area, then I think going up to check the connection is probably worth the information and see what's up there. If you're comfortable with HBJ and or CWJ, but
Yeah. Now, I I'm gonna be honest here. I'm not like um, the best at it or anything by any stretch of the imagination, but I've commentated with Glove, and you should always be checking X-ray. And both these
oh,
players skipping it.
that's
I'm
a
a little, I don't
that's a
know.
tough early X-ray check. I
Well,
mean, like
they got a lot of tanks and they have bombs. You just IBJ. Like that's what I would do.
that's a really slow X-ray check.
That is
So
true. That is true.
so I don't know.
It is very slow, and it is not technically logic without a suit, right?
I don't know what the logic specifically is around checking X-ray. I don't know if bombs puts it in. I you
I
needed
th-
something else, but I don't know.
yeah, I think it's like bombs in suit or some high jump in suit or like obviously grapple space jump, um, but yeah, I would like to see at least one of them do it. Maybe get some divergence here as it is. We're gonna see the first boss though. Oh
Dragon reset. We do
yeah,
not have the equipment needed to get out. Even if we killed Dragon, we don't have the equipment needed to get out. So,
yeah, and both of them taking the save. So
yeah.
both of them remembering it's boss rando and making the right choice. Um, but yeah, it's kind of an unfortunate first boss to see there. You'd like to be able to tackle something easy at this point.
Yeah, I think ideally what you'd really like is, obviously Kraid would be nice because you can get the Kraid item on the way out. I think the second choice you'd probably want there's Fantoon, just to make sure that if you do have to go to Wreck Ship, that more stuff is open.
Yeah.
Ridley would have been tough. 25 supers, no charge beam. Like I don't know if they have quite enough ammo to deal with that and the heat in Ridley's room.
Yeah, that would probably be pretty close. You'd probably need some epic bomb hits.
Yeah.
um, but yeah, this actually kind of brings into play what I mentioned earlier in that, they know Dragon is not in Meridia, so
Hmm.
if they don't find Ice or Speed, they could always go back and kill Dragon and then have backdoor access. So oh, well, and we found all the Chozo tanks, so definitely Hell runs are in logic now, whether they were or not before.
Hmm.
um,
And they are finding all the tanks, even on the miners side of things. They're already at
yeah,
8. Well, Slow Guy's at 8. Swunch hasn't gotten the Alpha PBs one yet, and we'll get the high jump one shortly, I assume.
yeah, yeah. So these runners have three kind of options for getting through Meridia, and doesn't look like they have any option besides Hell runs, because that's where the seed seems to be pointing up.
Yeah, and it looks like Swunch is going to go to Ice first, so we'll get to see that item shortly. I'm hoping for high jump boots here. I think that would. I don't know what that would do
Uh,
logically. I just like the item, so I'd like to see high jump boots.
yeah, Yeah. And we do get
Oh,
charge. That's
so
interesting,
what charge beam does though is that puts Croc in logic.
right?
In order because it only takes the Chozo stuff into account for logic. Croc is never in logic in Chozo without charge. So from the runner's mind, I think they're probably going to go, okay, well let's go check speed and wave because those are two, quick Chozo checks over in Bubble Mountain, and then probably head down to Croc if they don't find something useful.
Yeah, I mean the way the seed is kind of directing, I I almost hope that one of them tries to bet on, an early croc maybe, but yeah, that your route there makes more sense. Um, Also, while they're hell running, they have so many tanks, but no power bombs for crystal flashes, so they are going to have to do the slow refills anytime they head through the heated rooms here. Um, so this is going to be a little bit of a slog, but probably not too dangerous with screw attack and 6, 7 heat tanks now. For
8 plus reserves.
yeah,
Well, 7 for Smooch, 8 for Slow Guy, plus at least one reserve. I can't remember at this point if they picked up one or two, but
I think it's 2 because there was one on the ceiling. I think they both picked that and one on a statue.
just a very healthy seed. It's been watching its
Yeah.
carb intake. It's been exercising regularly. It's gonna keep its BMI low.
So yeah, the charge is interesting. Um, I think we do have a few more ammo items left, right? We'd have like another super missile and maybe a regular missile, but we're getting to a point where the Chozos should start being all good stuff pretty soon. So maybe we'll find something down here.
Yeah, it would be. I don't expect either of these runners to make this play, but you mentioned it a bit, and I think it's an interesting thought. If I was racing Sloters, for instance, right, somebody who is far better than me, I may take that chance and go straight to Croc instead of doing Bubble Mountain, and just
Yeah.
hope that the seed was sending me there and try to save that Bubble Mountain time. But I think these runners are probably close enough matched that I don't think anybody's going to take that gamble. And there's Gravity Suit. Well,
Oh,
Dragon just got a lot easier to kill.
yeah. Yeah, charge plasma, plenty of ammo.
Oh God,
Um,
Sloters is in chat. Crap. That's just what I want him to think.
yeah, so gravity suit's an interesting, I guess I was kind of expecting Varia somewhere back here, but picking up the gravity suit now, that makes it a little tougher. Do you continue to croc or do you go check some other stuff? I mean, you have Meridia access, you have Dragon you can kill. I don't know. I mean, feels like croc is kind of on the way, even though it's a slow one item check. And charge plasma makes the kill free. So
Yeah, it's an interesting call. Um,
since we saw Swunsh skip alpha PBs with that extra Terminator check, he might feel pretty behind. I mean, he could potentially make the play, skip Croc, and try and bank on just heading where the seed's pointing you.
Yeah, this seed is certainly starting to look like a seed that expects you to kill Dragon at Ridley. Oh, the phaser when you've already got plasma. No.
The menu beam.
Hmm. And there's the menu of shame,
There
as
it is.
you cannot have both plasma and spazer equipped at the same time, and the game will always equip the item that you picked up. Spazer only in very rare instances is worth using over plasma, and gotta turn it off. Go back to the good beam there.
Yeah, and with Gravity Suit, you're probably not going to run into too many of those rare instances because I believe a lot of them are for suitless Meridia. So
Yeah, there's a lot of people who prefer to turn plasma off when freezing enemies. It does
yeah.
look like Slow Guy's heading down to Croc. There's no other. I bet he wishes he had picked up those supers though after peeking them. It'd be nice to have 5 more supers for Ridley if Ridley is at, wherever you find him. If you don't have Varya yet.
Yeah. And that power bomb pack in the ceiling there does make things a little better, but
Yeah,
I think we still
D-Web
haven't.
pointing out here, we haven't seen Chozo PBs yet.
Yeah, we haven't seen him on a statue, right?
Right, and that does mean that they are either behind Croc or behind Dragon at Kraid. So given that
Yeah.
information, I actually think skipping Croc is the right play. Because you're gonna go kill Dragon on the way up. And if you get PBs there, well then that tells you that there was a major item here and maybe you've lost some time, but you can still go through Meridia, albeit a bit slowly depending on what you find, and kill whatever boss is there pretty comfortably, even if it's Ridley, I think, with the amount of health and ammo that they'll have by the time they get there.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. With the knowledge that Slow Guy has, he might have been able to deduce that. I don't think because Swunsh skipped some stuff. I don't think he could go there in his mind.
Yeah,
Like, I don't think he could get to that deduction unless he's, super big brain. But
yeah, it would at best be 1 out of 3 for Swoonch, right? He would know it has to
yeah,
either be Alpha PBs, Croc, or behind Dragon at Kraid. Um,
yeah. But
which
yeah,
what
that's interesting. So we'll see if we're right because we expect power bomb here, right?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Slow Guy decides to go the back way, and he is. I was gonna suggest. I think the other option would have been to go down the other way and do a bomb jump up, but I think this is going to be quite a bit faster.
Yeah, but I just really like to see at least one bomb jump per race, so I'm a little disappointed.
Oh, and Swoonch also picking up the Shame Beam. That's why it starts with S. Oh, there's our high
Oh,
jump boots. That's nice.
so that was not power bombs, and that is a good find.
That,
Probably
yeah.
this early, I mean, probably worth the time in terms of movement speed, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Especially if the next move is going to be to go after Dragon to go to Meridia. Um, they don't have great movement for getting through Meridia. You really want space jumper speed because otherwise, just a lot of the rooms are just slow. Although they'll be going the back way at that point because they don't have a way through Botloon, so they'd be taking the back route that we had talked about before.
Yeah. And some of those late game Meridian rooms are just, well, a lot of the like even the lower Norfair rooms are just so awkward without high jumps. So
Mhm.
definitely definitely happy to see that pick up, and it does look like Swoonch is heading that way as well.
Yeah. Um, Slow Guy's gonna go this way. I believe he will need to infinite bomb jump. So you'll get your bomb jump if he does go this way in order to get
Ooh,
out of this
yeah,
room. You need speed, I think, to just do a regular jump and high jump boots. So it looks like he's gonna be doing bomb jumping here.
that's what I'm talking about. Oh, you're in the lava. He's gonna need to pick up the pace though.
He did save before he did this, so that's a good sign. He's got that save there, but
Oh man, am I not even gonna get to see it now? Oh, there we go. Okay,
oh, there he goes.
there we
This is
go.
gonna be close though. I don't know what he's got in his reserves, but it's gonna mess up his
Well,
bomb jump if he's not
yeah, he
careful.
needs to go. There he
All
goes.
right.
Oh, what a pro. Probably at the last possible second.
All right, he's out with 38 extra health. Piece of cake.
Slow guy, the legend of the infinite bomb jump.
So we'll definitely see Slow Guy head over to kill Dragon here. There'd be no reason to save that unless you were ultra big brain wanted to save it until after you killed Kraid because you knew the item there was going to be something important, but there's no way. So he'll go kill Dragon. It'll be interesting to see after Dragon. He has easy wreck ship access now with gravity and high jump. You don't have to worry about mode anymore. You don't even need high jump for that. Just with gravity, you can get across very easily. But I would expect him to head to Meridia with his current loadout.
Yeah, like you were kind of saying earlier, unless you can guarantee Fantoon's going to be there, go somewhere else. Okay, good. Did skip the save, which wasn't really necessary, but definitely don't want to skip that energy refill. So he should have a pretty comfy fight here. Has 20 supers to do it all with ammo, and gonna farm a few more even.
He's also got charge and plasma. No X-ray for the X-ray, but even just charge plasma it does a pretty good job on Dragon, so shouldn't be too tough here. And no chance of chain damage death because he doesn't have speed.
Yeah. What if speed is behind Dragon?
Then I would 100% go to Meridia. Like, and I wouldn't take the maybe the back way is still faster actually, because you don't have to fight Bot Moon. It's going to still be faster.
Yeah, from this location it'd be, or at least for me, it's tough to tell.
Oh yeah, this is definitely power bombs though. We already know what item this is. We'll see if Slow Guy knows and whether or not, because if he's big brain in it, unlike me, then he would know this is power bombs and he could just skip it, or he could get it with crystal flash ammo and Turian.
I forgot we had the whole power bombs conversation. I was just trying to throw a wrinkle in things.
Yeah, it's probably worth grabbing these just for having 15 for Turian. You already know the game is telling you that you can get to the Meridia boss without ice or speed. So ice and speed could both be buried somewhere awful that you don't want to have to get. And so having enough power bombs for Metroids is going to be worthwhile.
Yeah, and he has ammo for just ammoing through the Zebs and then charge plasma for the fight. So really no reason not to finish that loadout. Just be ready for the end of the game.
All right, swunsh. Oh man, swunsh is heading this way too. Okay, now he's going back the other way. I was gonna say I don't think he took the save, and doesn't have a ton of ammo, or sorry, a ton of health. So I think I like the call here to just back out of that. Probably refill your health and just go the other way out. It's unfortunate and a little bit slower to go all the way out, but obviously better than dying.
Yeah, that room is deceptively tough in randos sometimes. You think it's going to be easy because you just always pass through it like no problem, but then you don't have grapple or speed or space jump or whatever, and it just kind of sneaks up on you.
It's just one of those rooms that you don't go through. You don't go through that like that direction that often. And Slow Guy, I think, is going the wrong way here. And wait.
He wants to do a check, right? Or oh no, what is he doing?
There's nothing to
go
check that way, right? There's no Chozo statues that way. He needs to go up through the tube up by the plasma. Yeah.
Isn't there? Oh yeah, I guess this would be definitely faster. Sorry. Yeah. It's mid-Sunday nap time, so sometimes the brain is on vacation.
Yeah, could have just gone up and said, I hope whatever boss is at wreck ship has a good item, or that it's Fantoon and something good is good in Wreck Ship. He's also gonna want to take some time, probably in Cack Alley, honestly, to refill supers. Or I guess he could go to the back door of Botwoon and refill from the bugs there. But if it is Ridley, he's gonna want the full 25 supers. Actually, is very much regretting that that backup. Oh, and yeah, check Plasma on the way. That makes 100% sense. I didn't even think about that, but we've killed Dragon, so we should check Plasma. We're going this way anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, not something you see every day, coming in to Plasma with Plasma after killing Dragon before going to Dragon's lair.
Or even going to Meridia.
And it is ice.
All right. Well, that is a good find. We'll see if Swunch goes that direction and remembers to check.
Yeah, definitely worth the time in this room. Just with probably the faster Metroid Torian alone.
Yep. And Swunch is just starting their Dragon fight right now.
Yeah.
What is somewhat interesting about that ice pickup there is that is, you know, behind the logic for Dragon to be dead. So this is one of those cases where if Speed is also back here somewhere, then this was literally the only way to get into Meridia. But fortunately, wasn't like a trolley kind of location where you know, they had to like go out of their way to kill somebody, run all the way back, do something. I don't know. Like sometimes requiring the back way into Meridia can become very trolly. And yeah, definitely want to pick up some of these supers here.
Yeah, he didn't farm in that first room, but did finally pick up a few on the way. But yeah, definitely. Yeah, if we see Speed or even, I don't know, even like Antoon in a inopportune place, then this was definitely the play.
Yep,
Oh, he's just gonna screw attack farm there. I guess that about the same difference. And we won't have to see Botwoon, which is definitely a perk.
Bugs, where are your supers at? That was like 8 sets of bugs with no supers.
Yeah.
That's really bad farm luck. Like, I'm a little surprised he didn't go check the miner there to the left, but I guess he does have charge ice plasma, so even if he ends up having to supplement, and if it is Ridley, and he has to supplement with some charge shots, he should still have plenty of health.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna see any problems here, but I could have just cursed him as well. We'll see.
You can't. No, here's the thing. With this tournament, you can't have commentators curse him because we're 10 minutes behind. This has already happened. So there's nothing, literally nothing that you can do to affect this fight.
He is going to check this miner. And gonna pick it up. Okay. So we will get yeah, I guess if it's Ridley, you wanna have this save. It's a tough fight.
Yeah, I like this save. Just things could go wrong.
Yeah.
Make sure that nothing bad happens. I don't think he's gonna avoid Ridley if it's Ridley here and come back later, but best to be safe.
Even
wants
using
the
all
full
missiles.
30 supers. Yeah, it doesn't want anything less than 30 supers. And it's Kraid. All that preparation for... You know what? Hey, Kraid can be very dangerous. You never know when Kraid is gonna do 9 E-tanks worth of damage to you when you're not expecting it.
Hey, I've played Dread, man. That new Kraid, it's no joke. Look, Kraid's gonna stand up and throw some nails at her.
You get to fight Kraid with charged plasma. It's, and he's dead. All right, he saved it. He only had like just barely got through that with only 854 energy left in his main tanks. Looks like Swunsh has decided to forego Meridia here and is instead going up. Looks like he's going to check X-ray.
Yeah,
That's an interesting check.
high
Hoping
jump.
for something big there.
Yeah, high jump bombs. I mean, he's got options, so hopefully he'll be able to do this pretty quickly. Yeah, I like it. I like to, after his early issues and then like having to go around in Norfair when he was doing hell runs, you do feel like you're behind and you got to try something. So this is still an option for where that suit could be.
And I know how much you like bomb jumps, so.
Oh yeah, we're gonna see two of them. And my favorite childhood variation here, not none of that faster 2-bomb stuff that I can't do.
Double bomb jumping is impossible. Nobody can do it.
Doesn't really exist.
He does
Ooh.
get up over the first hump here and going to do another
very nice
bomb jump here.
Yeah, we'll have to be, I think, a little careful going out. He took kind of a bit of damage.
Waivers. Oh my god!
Nice.
Those waivers were the most helpful waivers I've ever seen.
Those were some
trying to infinite bomb jump.
Those are some beautiful bomb jumps. Oh, and it's Meria.
All right, that's
always be checking X-ray. Where's Glove in the chat?
I stand corrected. They should have just gone there first. I don't know what I was thinking.
So that makes this race quite a bit more interesting. I mean, up until this very moment, obviously I was thinking Slow Guy was way ahead, but now, Swunch could potentially make different routing decisions, go to Lower Norfair first, and not have to make the big backtrack and gain a bit of time back here. So I love to see it.
Yeah, it's a little bit interesting. I don't know exactly what the logic is for where Varia can be placed with regards to boss rando. Like if it expects you to fight Ridley without it sometimes.
Yeah.
Do you know?
I don't think. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't think you're ever expected to suitless fight Ridley.
So if he goes to wreck ship and it's Ridley, that means literally the only places that Varia could be is X-Ray or Shack Tool.
Yeah.
And so then he will find Varia very quickly. I think he'll deduce that and go there. But we'll see. Maybe it's Fantoon, and then in which case that starts to open up some more possibilities and where.
Yeah, I think the worst
all wreck ship.
Yeah, I think the worst case for Slow Guy is that it is Fantoon now. Like you're thinking when you're going there, the best case is Fantoon being there, but we definitely know that it would be much better if he saw Ridley.
I actually think he's probably hoping for it to be Ridley because that means he knows that means Fantoon is in Lower Norfair, and that severely cuts down where Varia can be for him, right? And so, and that means he's probably routed this pretty well. We do see Swunch heading back down. It's going to go straight down to Lower Norfair, instead of going into Meridia.
Oh, this is the right call and like a gamble that's really paying off for him. I mean, he's going to have to just go straight up like you would want to. Lower Norfair, Meridia, wreck ship. Kind of how you would want to do in any percent run. For I think. But this is definitely going to bring him back in the race here. Oh, and Fantoon at wreck ship. All
right, that's it's going to be interesting to see how much Slow Guy clears, but I think in his scenario, unless you're planning, because now Ridley is in Lower Norfair and going to fight Ridley RBO style, well, almost RBO style with no Varia, not the most attractive thing. So you know, that narrows down where Varya can be so much that like you kind of just need to start clearing everything. He's going to look for. He's going to find probably Spring Ball and Space Jump and Speed Booster, which are helpful, but not what he's looking for.
Yeah, I just really hurts him. I almost, unless he leaves right after the lower section here. I mean, I think that actually switches the lead over to Swunsh. But let's take a look at what some of these items are in the wreck ship. At least we'll get some new checks here. See what's going on with the seed. Shouldn't be too much ammo left, so should be something interesting. And we get a spring ball.
And picks it up because I think literally everybody likes Spring Ball.
I was gonna say, wasn't the tag on this match like MM2 secretly likes spring ball? And I don't think you could leave it if you're gonna note your match with such comments.
Well, wow. I actually think it was MM2 like Spring Ball and don't tell anyone.
Oh,
And you sort of just spoiled it right there.
my bad.
But that's all right. Spring Ball, super useful, less useful since Meridia is already done. Where you really want to have Spring Ball is to help with suitless Meridia in the event that you have it. But you know, it's still a nice movement item.
I think spring ball, meme aside, I think it actually gets short shafted a little bit because like um I see a lot of runners when they have it in these races get through a lot of rooms a bit quicker, not having to like lay a power bomb. When they don't have bombs, they don't have to lay a power bomb, wait for the bomb to jump. But there's a few bomb jumps left in the
Oh,
game, and
wow. Swoonch picking up Space Jump at Screw Attack is
oh
actually really huge. It's going to help his
oh
movement
man,
like
and slow
immensely
guys,
in Lower Norfair.
yeah, and slow guy just seeing a super missile. So this is completely gone the other way. I mean, Schwunsch is just rolling in items now.
Yeah. Swoonch has everything that they need to finish. I don't know. Uh, they might want more ammo to get through the Zebs. I'm eyeballing it. I feel like they have enough. What do they? They need like 12 supers and 12 missiles. So they should have enough.
Judging from the way Swoonch has been playing, I would expect him to pick up maybe like one more pack of supers or two more packs of missiles. But there's a few like free checks on the way out of Norfair, so or lower Norfair. But yeah, I mean technically he's got enough ammo. It's just I think at 25 you have to like refill or something, to be honest. But I don't know. The 30 supers might put it to where he'll be fine. That's a lot of supers.
Yeah, it takes a missile and 3 supers on each of the Zebatites, or maybe 2 if you want to, 2 missiles and 3 supers if you want to be super safe. And that would leave them with 15, 18 or something, which would be more than enough to get through Mother Brain 1.
Yeah, so it would be probably not the most comfortable, and we do see Slow Guy doing bowling, so the the, the slow checks up
Yeah,
in Wreck Ship just dragging him down.
I yeah,
Oh,
this kind of needs to be speed or like it can't be space jump. It could be grapple. Like it has to be
wait,
something hopefully that puts
I'm sorry.
X-ray and logic.
What was Swunch looking for if he wasn't going to pick up that super missile?
I don't know.
That was the
Just
straight
force
like
of habit.
I mean I thought for sure he's looking for a super pack and he just passed it. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I'm
No,
just
no, it's
super
fine.
confused about that. Sorry, Grommel, go
Oh,
ahead.
any tank, I guess, would be nice, but he's pretty full. Oh, it's wave beam. That is, I mean, wave beam, great beam to find, helps you out, adds a lot of damage.
That I mean
But
that's a morale killer though, because now he knows Wreck Ship like he didn't need to come here.
yeah,
So I've never seen anyone farm like this, and it looks like it's actually working a little faster because he's getting 3 bugs.
It's yeah, that seems pretty effective. I don't know. I can't see any real problems with it.
Yeah, I mean, I uh, I mean, I always just farm where everyone else farms, and if you got grapple, it's probably faster. But like, if you don't have grapple, this seems really a well thought out farm. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, it's probably not as fast as some of the other methods, but because they do have to move quite a ways, but it seems very consistent for swunch, which honestly is a lot better than,
Yeah,
trying to kill the bugs and like missing one and having it fly off screen and then freezing one on the other side and then the drops way over there. And
we do have a vanilla Ridley, as we already knew, but um, looks like he's missed a sewer, but had a great opening, so
Mhm.
should be
Yeah.
an easy finish for him.
Yeah, he's got charged plasma too to make up for any missed supers. So
Yeah,
even the few that he does miss isn't going to be too bad. He's got lots of health.
yeah. Ridley already pretty red. Just needs what, a few more missiles. That should
Hmm.
be way more than he shot
And
a few too many, but he knows
slow
better.
guy, yeah, slow guy is heading to X-ray, so that's good. Gonna do the bomb
Definitely.
jump. Um,
Okay, Ridley is definitely dead, right? He didn't miss. He only missed like 2 supers at the most.
yeah, he's
Okay,
definitely dead.
that was weird.
Um,
Oh, nice. And with ice not having to IBJ, this will be faster for him. Worse for me, but faster for him.
yeah, I think this has to be speed. Yeah.
Yeah, there you
So
go.
like that's gonna make Swoonch's Meridia really fast.
Yeah,
Right. He's got
and like
space
you were,
jump, speed, high jump. Like he's gonna blaze through it. He's gonna head to wreck ship. He's gonna check nothing in wreck ship. Now slow guy only has Ridley left, but Ridley is the furthest boss. He's got to go all the way down to Ridley, all the way back. And Swoonch should not be checking literally anything at this point. He's got everything he needs to finish the game.
yeah.
Take a ship refill and be done.
Especially if you're skipping super missiles in the same room. Like he shouldn't do any more checks. So yeah, this looks really good for him. That X-ray check really just fixing his routing almost to where he didn't get baited into Meridia or the ship. It looks like in this seed.
Yeah, slow guy could definitely know that speed and space are down there, but even knowing that, do you check screw attack and get grapple instead and like make that kind of a wasted check? I think slow
It
guy's probably just gonna go straight to Ridley,
I'm
maybe
like,
check the Ridley item and then out.
yeah, I mean, I'm not as good as these racers, but I think there's no way that you check screw attack or screw attack in slow guy's position. I just can't imagine that making sense to him or
Yeah.
really like I agree with the Ridley check. Like a lot of people would probably skip it, but it doesn't take that much time, and if it is speed, then you're way better off. But slow guy also already has ice, so it's not like he needs a Zeb skip option. In his position, I think it could make sense skipping the Ridley item, but I think he'll check it.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
would.
I think he's checked almost like the only things he hasn't checked, right, would be Shack Tool, Screw Attack, and Ridley.
Yeah,
And he knows those three items are space jump, speed, and grapple. And honestly, either space jump or speed will more than make up the time for his run back to Turian and the escape. So I definitely check the Ridley item.
yep,
I probably do not check Screw Attack at this point. After
yeah,
having full cleared wreck ship, I'm a little bit worried. And
yeah.
to Riggs, to your question, I think Swoonch. If I were in Swoonch's shoes, I would absolutely not be checking anything, including plasma. Um,
Yeah, no, you don't wanna bother with that check at this point. I mean, he has so many outstanding items as well.
yeah, he's got
That
Ice
I
Wave, Spring Ball, Grapple, and there's a super. I think that was in Rex ship that he hasn't gotten yet, if I
Yeah,
remember right.
I don't even know. I mean, obviously to each run of their own, but I don't even know if it would make sense, like in his position, to check like right side supers. I mean, it's not a super long check after a boss, but it does have a door
I,
transition, and I mean, I don't feel like that would even make sense.
I do think he should have gone the back route, even though he has speed. I think having to fight Bot Wound is slower in every case, even with all the movement items. I don't think it's going to be significantly slower, but I think it's got to be slower to go this route when Dragon is dead.
I'm gonna have to agree with that too because his super count is pretty poor, so he's gonna be doing some charged plasma shots, and yeah, I mean, it probably won't be like terribly slower, but this is I think I'm gonna have to agree with you. This is definitely slower. Um,
I
but
wonder if Swunch is aware of like if he's I don't know how familiar he is with Boss Rando. He might not have even known that Dragon being dead allows him another route, which would explain why he didn't go to Meridia initially. If he thought he needed ice or speed, maybe
yeah, that could have paid off for him for sure. And yeah, I mean, I was even just gonna say like at this point too, your go mode as Swoonch, you could just be on autopilot, like trying to race your fastest race through the rest of this game here. Like, yeah, it may be faster to go the other way, but it might be faster for him to get that muscle memory. I mean, he's got high jump, speed booster, space jump. Like, this is what you have when you go through Meridia. Well, no, I guess not really, but in any case, this is a great loadout for Meridia that you typically see. So it's like you just run your fastest race at this point using your muscle memory.
doesn't ice and high jump boots put X-ray in logic as well? I thought ice high jump put it up, so I didn't think grapple at Shack Tool was required, but I could be wrong. I'm sure Diddy and Sloters know the logic much better than I do. You need the tanks too.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh, I see. You because Chozo only caps out at like 3 or 4 tanks. They assume I think 5 or 6 for doing that sort of X-ray check. And so for X-ray to be in logic, you always need um, grapple or space jump, I guess.
Hmm.
Interesting.
So they're saying that you're supposed to go to Meridia, get ice, then do the ice clip to Shack Tool, then get Varia at X-ray.
Yeah,
That's
that's the logic of this seed, if you can call it logic.
yeah, that's not logic. That's garbage. I'm so glad that. I mean, I like a Shack Tool checks as much as the next guy, but I'm so glad that that's not the way you had to play this seed. I think this way worked out a lot more interesting. Uh, with a lot more interesting of a race.
Charge plasma, charge plasma.
Yeah, he's out
All right,
of
trade's
out of the
done. Fine.
supers and definitely made that a little more interesting than it needed to be.
All right, Swoonch. I probably pick that up if I'm Swoonch. I know I'm gonna fight Fantoon. It's gonna save me more than the 7 seconds of fanfare.
Yeah, I don't know. At this point, I mean, I guess it's how good your Fantoon is. If you're comfortable with the 2 round Doppler, then that's not going to do anything for you. But if you're a 5 or 6 rounder, then yeah, pick it up.
I think even if you're familiar and very comfortable with 2 round Doppler, it's still faster to do a 1 round X-ray for sure,
Eh,
and more than
yeah,
7 seconds faster for sure.
yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess.
Oh, Slow Guy didn't check the Ridley item. Didn't get speed. That's gonna be a significant time loss, right? It would have been, I don't know, 20ish seconds with the room transitions and the item fanfare to get it, but it would absolutely have saved him that time.
Yeah,
He obviously doesn't know for sure that it was speed. It's just unfortunate that That's going to end up costing him. It's going to be really close. Like, Slow Guy's on his way to Turian. Swunch has to run to wreck ship and kill Fantoon, but doesn't need to check anything. It'll be about a 2-minute wreck ship. And Slow Guy is about 2-ish, maybe 2.5 minutes away from getting the Turian.
Yeah, this is turning into a photo finish. I love it. And we do have to remember now, since we're getting to this close finish, Slow Guy does have Ice Beam and the full loadout, so his Mother Brain is going to be the fast. Like once he gets to Mother Brain 2, going to be the fastest possible, and then he has the option for stand up, and he has the quicker Metroid rooms. So Swunch, while he made a huge play and built up and kind of came back, I don't know if he's in the lead anymore.
Swunch, are you planning to? Where are you going?
Uh,
Oh, he needs another super. He could have killed the Ripper outside of wrecked ship.
oof.
I hope he doesn't think that he killed the wrecked ship boss already. That would be unfortunate. That
Yeah,
would.
this is well, and this is an unfortunate time loss too. Like usually, I'm like super on board with a refill, but you just need one super, right? He had
Well,
one,
no,
so he needed one more.
he would need 2 more. He needs one to get into wreck ship,
Yeah,
and then he needs one to get down into the area with. I guess he doesn't need another one for the boss door. Could he use missiles? But
yeah, he could
maybe
use
he doesn't
pistols.
know about the Ripper. Like, because that Ripper is like a 90% chance of dropping a super, and with screw attack, you can
Yeah,
just screw attack through it.
yeah. I don't know about that refill. I mean, I guess he could also be. He knows Fantoon is here, and he's not really going to spend any ammo. I mean, he could also be piggybacking that as like his end of game refill, which I'm totally on board with. But
Yeah, that's
um,
true. It
if
doesn't
he,
lose nearly as much time, but it still loses quite a bit running over to the ship and
yeah,
back.
yeah, like if he, you know, if he just skips the ship on the way back, then I'm on board with that. But if he then fills up again, it would be a little unfortunate. But in any case, we got a Fantoon fight. He'll be finishing off his last boss, and Slow Guy, I think, gonna pass him while he's in the Fantoon fight.
Yep, that's what it's looking like.
Pretty handily here.
And Slow Guy not going to need a refill. Has plenty of supers and ice, so doesn't have to worry about the power bombs. We'll see how this Fantoon fight goes for Swoonch.
Setting up a Doppler, and ooh,
Just couple missiles in for that
yeah,
first
I
round.
don't
Gets
think
the
this
fast
is.
and misses the opening, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't think this is gonna be a 2-rounder. So Slow Guy gonna have a bit of a lead, and the faster Torian loadout.
Fantoon being nice with those fast. Unfortunately, he's also doing the fast opening, which can sometimes be tough to get your missiles in on him.
Yeah, yeah, the fast. He has been blessed with those fast, but man, that another fast with the fast eye opening or fast close. I mean. Yeah, this should be it. He should be in super.
Yeah,
Yeah, there we
Fantoon
go.
is super dead there.
All right, so Swunch has his final boss down. Right as Slow Guy enters Torian. And it's still going to be close, but I mean, it is Slow Guy's to throw at this point if he.
Yeah, the speed booster is not going to make up this amount of time in escape.
No, not versus Ice.
Yeah, and yeah, Swoons is gonna lose that in the Metroid rooms or close to that. So, Slow Guy definitely in the lead here. We'll see if get some these Metroid rooms are so smooth with the full loadout. It's fun to watch. And
Oh,
Swoonch is checking this item.
Yeah, there's
Unfortunately, Spring Ball is not useful in Turian really at all. Maybe
yeah.
the oh, you can do Blue Bomber with it, I guess. There is that.
Yeah, and then you automatically win, right?
I don't think that's a rule, but I'd have to check.
No, I'm kidding. For the official, I'm just joking, but yeah. Uh, and slow guy is in to the cutscene here. Oh, phone going crazy. Sorry,
Oh,
thought it was
and
on
Switch doing
vibrate.
a nice spark there to get out. Flying reverse something. I don't know. Yeah,
Getting
Switch
those
is
super
definitely
nice.
looking for ice, but I think that check is not as close as it feels. You're like, oh, it's just a thing over, but it's a pretty big room, and it's not the easiest room to move through. I think if you're gonna skip items, kind of make the decision and go. Like, there's too many other things that could be. I think for
Well, I just still remember him standing next to a super missile and noping out PB's a shame. So
yeah, well, and
that
skipping X-ray, right?
yeah, yeah, and it's like I don't know. Some of the checks have been interesting to watch for sure. We've had a good race here. That's the best part is that this is close, and I think looks like they're about 3 minutes apart. I don't know. I have to wait till switch to get to the elevator, and then hope that it's close enough to 42 to not make the math terrible.
Yeah, well, it's
Um,
going to be weird because Swunch's terrain is going to be slower.
yeah.
And the Mother Brain fight's going to be longer.
Yeah. So yeah, he came
So
down. It's actually like 2.5 minutes. I think 2.5 minutes later into Torian. So it definitely pulled back to within uh, spitting distance here of slow guy, but just couldn't make up all the time that he needed to. Slow guy pumping the supers and the mother brain.
now, if you're a slow guy, do you go for stand up here? Do you like?
This for slow guy, I'd have to say yes. Like you can't think that you're super far ahead because you found Varia super late. Like you think that you found Varia late.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
I would at least. So I mean,
Well, yeah, I never feel like I'm ahead in a randomizer race. I think in our heads we always picture our opponent making every single right decision and executing perfectly, and
yeah,
we look at all of our mistakes.
looks like he's
It,
gonna play it safe. Um,
yeah.
so
I don't
that's
I don't hate that either. Like, to be clear,
yeah,
like stand up, it's not like stand up is gonna if you lost a race due to not doing stand up, man, that was a close, really good race.
yeah, yeah. I just think with his late Varia, and then he has the full beam combo, ton of E tanks, X ray makes it slightly safer. Like, even if you're not going to do a perfect stand up, you still can save a little time if you're going to do, if you do a little bit. But,
Mhm.
um, yeah,
I
no, I
I
don't. This is a good decision. Whatever you're comfortable with, a lot of times it's faster. Like, I think Kip always says that.
Yeah,
I
and
think it
I
makes a
I
lot
will
of sense.
say the number of races that have been lost due to a botched stand up compared to the number of races that have been won because of doing stand up is very lopsided in one direction.
Yeah.
That said, he
Oh,
does have all of the things for somebody that would, be comfortable doing it, right? X-ray to get out if you do get stuck,
yeah.
the right amount of health, full beam combo. But I do not admonish anybody for skipping the stand up. Uh,
Yeah, definitely. And even if you're not like super practiced in it, it might not save a lot of time, if it's not your go-to. Because you still have to manipulate. You have to like to get the fastest one. You have to like manipulate the baby as you do it, right? So it gets the maximum damage and stuff. Like I
Yeah,
don't
I
know,
mean, you
a little
can
bit
you can
more.
get you can get like quite a few shots in even without that, but I mean, you can get it
Okay,
down to where you only need it. you know, 5 or 6 hyper beam shots pretty easily. If you want to do the perfect one where it requires 1 or 0, then it takes a little bit more
Yeah.
finesse than I
So yeah, I
have.
mean, might not be that much time, but Mother Brain is down for Slow Guy. Just an escape to go as Swunch heads into Zeb Room. Uh, Swunch actually going to take a save. Guess not comfortable with the ammo situation if they're going to ammo the Zebs. Makes a lot of sense. Yeah, and it is going to be an ammo Zeb kill.
Yeah, and I have found the most consistent way to do this is actually exactly what Swunch is doing. Do 2 missiles and then 3 supers, and then if one of the missiles gets eaten, you get you know, no problem. You have to do 1,000 damage, but it does slowly regenerate, so it can get weird.
Yeah, I think actually one of his supers got eaten on that second to last set, but he's still
Luckily,
got plenty.
yeah, luckily he had plenty, and he's got an extra 8 supers to do ammo with. As Slow Guy gets up climb, heading through Parlor here, gonna be done in just a moment.
Yeah, no, this has been a great race. Swunch doing a good job of cleaning up this Torian with the limited loadout pretty quickly. So
Yep.
well, we should see him finish as well. But yeah, here's Slow Guy.
Yeah, and Slow Guy has finished with an official racetime.gg time of 1:10:02. Nicely done, Slow Guy. Good job. That was you know, are generally the area rando seeds are the ones that are a little bit slower, but this like vanilla area boss rando one was actually had them going kind of all over the place.
Yeah, yeah, I liked it. We got some divergence. We got some comeback. Yeah, it was a good race to watch for sure. Glad I jumped in here last minute.
Yes, thank you very much for joining me. By the way, that's another good call out. Make sure you follow the runners. They putting on a good show for everyone. Um, there is their Twitch links. Go give them a follow, and especially shout outs to our tracker because trying to do any of these randomizer races without a tracker is a nightmare. So, um, incomplete perfection. Uh, Thank you very much for tracking. I don't know if we have a exclamation point T shout out or not.
Oh, give it a
Is
try
that
if
a
my
thing? Hey,
mouse
look at
keeps
that.
working.
Hey, that gives
There we go.
commentary. Oh, no, never mind. It's under commentary. So incomplete perfectionist, thank you very much for tracking. Appreciate it. And
Yes, definitely appreciate that. I remember trying to do everything myself all in one race, and trackers are the real heroes. Yeah, and also you and Incomplete Perfectionist, or right? Yeah, both playing in the tournament. So,
no, I am not actually. I
oh,
am
you're
not in the
not? Oh,
tournament.
I
Nope.
thought I saw your name. Sorry, just in the
Unfortunately,
commentary channel.
yeah, just the commentary. Didn't join this one. Oh, incompetent perfectionist.
Oh,
See, I am incomplete perfectionist.
are there two
Apologies for
people with
that.
similar names, or have I just always been
Nope.
reading that wrong?
Apparently, my brain just doesn't remember how to read. That's what we've learned here today.
All right. Well, sorry about that. Um, I've seen you race and track a few races though. It's always been good. So, appreciate you in the tournament here, and sorry that we're incompetent.
Right. Well, Switch following up, finishing up Mother Brain 3, got the Hyper Beam. Gonna have a quick round 3 and then a fast escape here with speed and space jump and high jump and all the fun movement items.
Yeah, definitely.
And
Oh, I
there
guess
is
we should
that
have been looking.
grappling beam at Spring Ball. Looking for what? We know where everything is.
Yeah. Yep. Grapple beam at spring ball. So that would have been an unfortunate check.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's worse things that could have been there, I guess. I mean, not in this seed. We kind of logic dictated everything that on where it could be, but
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good race.
yeah.
Swunch.
So Slow Guy will be moving his record to 2-1 for the next round of Swiss, and Swunch will drop down to 1-2. Both racers still have 3 more races to go in the Swiss bracket, or the Swiss matches of the phase of the tournament. Have you taken a look at all of what week 4 brings us, which is starting tomorrow?
Yeah, so that is gonna be full. What was it? It was full rando with the countdown. For items, it was random start,
Yeah.
vanilla map, and boss rando. It being on. Did I get that right?
I think it has boss randomization, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, boss
On.
rando
Yeah,
with random start and full countdown for items. It
yeah.
looks like Smooch is lost, heading down the wrong door. Gonna pay a visit to the animals, which we don't ever get to see in Chozo because there are no Chozo items down there. I guess I shouldn't say never, but probably never. There's probably some weird logic somewhere that requires you to go down there, but that
Yeah,
would
I mean,
be
if there's a E-tank for a hell run, but most of the time when there's a hell run, there's 1,000 E-tanks just sitting around.
yeah. I guess Chozo, it can never be required, right? You
Yeah.
should be able to only check the Chozo items, but yeah, Smooch instead gonna free those animals, let them get home, and head to landing site here.
So yeah, next week should be pretty interesting. That no area rando, but that random start can definitely throw a wrench in your plans.
Yeah, absolutely. And Smooch has finished up with an official racetime.gg time of 1 hour, 14 minutes, 56 seconds. Exactly what he shows on his timer. How does anybody hit their timer and done in racetime.gg at the same time? I don't understand it.
Witchcraft.
Yeah, that is ridiculous. All right. And I think, let's see here. I think we are going to be joined by Smooch here in a bit. I think
Yeah, it looks like. And I don't see Slow Guy, but either way, definitely GG's to both of them. Close race. Like you said, took a little longer to finish out Torian, but still within 5 minutes. So good close finish.
Yeah, excellent. And we are joined by Schwunz. First of all, I'm just going to say I have a hard time saying your name, and I apologize.
It's hard.
Welcome,
It's
GG. Nicely done.
GG. It's hard without having German tongue, I guess.
I did take 2 years of German in high school, but I didn't learn anything apparently. Cool. So one question that I had about your decisions in the seed, which I'd love to hear about. After finding gravity in in Upper Norfair and killing Dragon, you chose to head to X-Ray instead of going up to Meridia. Can you talk about like what was going through your head, why you decided to take that route?
Yeah, I was... At the time where I entered Red Tower, I was about to... Yeah, you have to do X-Ray, man. You have to. And I was so scared about having no suits at all, because it's not easy, and I haven't practiced that. And I don't even know, do gravity something about spike damage?
Oh
Because-
no, gravity does not help against
Wow.
spike damage, unfortunately.
Because the gravity was... So I thought it helps against spikes, and that was the point to go X-ray. But yeah,
Okay.
now I know.
Well, a fortunate misunderstanding of the spike damage, because that definitely up until that point you had basically kind of followed the same route, you and Slow Guy, but that decision to go there really jumped you up. Either made the race a lot closer for sure, because you got that Varia, went straight to Lord Norfair, found all the good movement items that Swunch didn't get, or sorry, that Slow Guy didn't get, while Slow Guy full cleared wreck ship and found literally nothing. There's just nothing there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is week 3. There's been a few different types of randomizers. Have you what has been your favorite settings? What have you enjoyed the most?
So I was scared about week 1 because of the area stuff. But I would say if your execution is not on point like others, especially Esther, the Kip, all the guys who go crazy in this game, I would say you have a chance on this mode in week 1 to win against these people.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's my opinion. I would say in week 3 you don't have any chance if your execution is not good enough. So even if you do a bad decision, the runner will go ahead and beat you by just execution.
Yeah, I think especially in Chozo, where there's really a lot of knowledge about what items can be where, right? And the logic is so narrowed down that it becomes, I think, a little bit easier to read out the seed and where to go. That execution is going to be a bigger part of it. Versus you're right, in full area rando, especially full item rando, full area rando, like that is very volatile, and a wrong decision can cost you, 10, 15 minutes sometimes compared to the other route.
Yeah, so far so good. I learned a lot about this game the last 2 months.
All right, I don't mean to harp on anything, but I have to ask: you're at PB's of Shame and you see a super missile. What are you looking for if you're not taking the super missile?
Don't ask me, I don't know. So I was short on 2 supers going into wrecked ship, and then I went for the ship, and the mode gave me 5 supers. So
Yeah.
thanks to that again.
Do you regret not picking up X-ray?
That was kind of stupid because I had charge and plasma, but it was 2 screens later I recognized. So oops, you could 1 round Fantoon easily. Even I'm not really good at Fantoon, so it's worth to picking up for me.
Well, I approve. Like I'm not I don't like X-ray much at all, and I tend to default to skipping as well, and then get 3 rooms away and realize like, oh yeah, I got to kill Dragon yet. That would have been really nice. Oh well, I guess we're going without it.
So the bad thing about X-ray, I don't know how the other guys handle it, but sometimes I don't deselect my missiles. I select further to deselect.
Okay.
And if you get X-ray, you have even 1 more item up there. So that's the annoying thing, I would say.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I was kind of thinking that maybe it was just kind of a lot of the second half of the game might have just been a muscle memory situation for you with a lot of your choices. So that makes sense to me too.
All right, Swoosh, did you have any other comments, any other shout outs that you wanted to get in before we wrap up here?
Not really. I'm looking up for next week. Having fun watching other guys learn a lot of stuff from the guys who's race. And yeah, thanks for commentating and the restream and for watching.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, big shout outs to the organizers and the runners. Make sure you give them a follow. And big thanks to Incompetent Perfectionist for tracking. Really appreciate it. And Sire, I'll let you sign us off.
Yeah, no, definitely it was a great race. GG to everyone. You kind of already said it, but I definitely want to shout out the organizers. They spend a lot of their personal time with money or anything to put this tournament together for us, and I've had a lot of fun watching a lot of matches. I haven't been able to commentate as much as I'd like, but I definitely appreciate them. So definitely you can see them in Discord, give them a follow. Help out with comms, whatever they need. And looking forward to the next week. I think there's only 1 more race today, and it probably is going on right now over on SpeedGaming, so you can flip over there. But then we'll get the new Swiss brackets for Monday and start a whole new week. So I hope everyone has a great rest of the day, and definitely join us back on Monday for some more Metroid action.